Once you've got some experience with video under your belt, let's see a few other tricks we can do. I'm going to open up a video I have of the Hetch Hetchy Dam here in California in Yosemite, and I'm going to switch to the motion workspace. Now on this, I'll go ahead and name the video group Dam. If you don't have the top video group selected, when you place this next file, it may become part of this one. I'll name this Water. But I'll be sure I click back on the parent group so that when I place a Photoshop file, it goes above. I'll choose File Place, and I'll grab the Aristotle Photoshop file, and just press Return or Enter to accept it. Then I'll stretch my timeline, and I could do a quick scrub to see what's going on, or even play it if I want audio. But I know at about 30 seconds in, I want to cut the video because it just starts panning back. So I'm just going to put the playhead here as a marker, and I'll move to the end of the water track and pull in. And I love that the window shows me exactly where it's going to. The Aristotle quote that I have, I want to extend over the whole length of the movie. But I do want this to fade in. So I will expand Aristotle, and I will start the opacity at the end at 100%. So at the end of the video, you see this full text. I'll click the stopwatch to say mark the opacity of the text as it stands here. I'll pull the playhead back to the beginning, and I'll click the diamond to insert a keyframe to make a change in the opacity. And I'll make this 0%. You could slide it or double click and press Return or Enter. And now as I scrub my timeline, it's fading in. And I'm going to apply a few Photoshop effects. I'll collapse the Aristotle video layer, and at the bottom of my layers panel, I'll add threshold. And threshold provides a very neat solid black or white effect. You can always edit it in properties by sliding left or right, depending on what you want to see. And I'm going to have the effects transition from one to the other. So I'll click Properties to get it out of my way, and I'm going to make each effect play for 10 seconds. But I want some overlap in each. So the threshold will be the first effect. Then I will have it fade into black and white. So I'll choose black and white from the bottom at Adjustments. It's helpful to move your playhead to where the black and white is kicking in to see what's happening. And I want this to overlap by a few seconds so that it can transition from one to the other, so I don't peek in between and see color in between the solid black and white and the grayscale black and white. So once this is transitioned over, I'll make it go to about 5 to 15, roughly. I'm not going to be exact. And now I could come back to the Properties panel and adjust the reds that were in the original shot, the greens, which the water in this is kind of green, to see how it's affecting the colors. After black and white, I finally want to apply a vibrance. So with vibrance, this will give a bit of a washed out look. So I'll start this one, just tapering each, and you could see the counter where you're going to start it at roughly 10. You can pull vibrance all the way to the left, but again, it helps to have the playhead where this is going to kick in. So here I'm getting a washed out image. Not fully black and white, because you could still see a bit of the green in the trees. And I'll make this last for roughly 10 seconds, and the last portion will be the color water that's in the original. Now if I play this, I'll move to the beginning with the playhead and just hit play, I hit spacebar to stop. There's no transitions, it's not smooth, it just flips from one to the next to the next. So we have here fades or crossfade, fade with black, with white, or with color that I can apply. I'm going to do just a 3-second fade. And all I have to do to apply that is drag and drop here where I want this to fade out, and here where I want it to fade in. I'm going to do that at each end of my transition so I get a fade in and a fade out. So now some blending will occur. And to get this dialog to go away, you can actually just press Return or Enter to accept it, or click away. I'll scrub it back to the beginning and hit spacebar to play. Here's the fade from threshold to black and white, from black and white to vibrance, and from vibrance to color. And I'll hit spacebar to stop. And one last thing I'll do before we finish up is in the audio track, I can actually mute it altogether if I just want silence. So when you render your final video, under File, Export, Render Video, you'll get just the effects. So this has been your tour of using the timeline to add adjustment layers, placing some text through a Photoshop file, and then fading with transitions in and out.